What is up, guys? Cole Townsend here. In today's video, we're going to be cutting up my perfectly good E36 M3 and making it into a wide body car. And we have an angle kit coming for this car. The angle kit will push this front wheel out like 2 inches, which should be about what the wide body does. Hopefully, otherwise we're going to be getting a different wide body than that one, but hopefully this one's wide enough. We'll see. The rear, we're just going to run a spacer because even right now, actually, the fitment's trash. As you guys can see, like, it tucks up in there, and like I can like get full suspension travel, but what fun is that when you have fitment? So let's go ahead and start cutting up my car and getting these things on. Also, a quick thing, we're going to be using Cleco clips today. They're like, I don't know where they originated from, but I think they're for like airplanes. I don't know if you guys can see that. It goes like that, it goes in, and you like let that out. And it just holds the panel on. It's like a temporary thing, it'll look like that. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start on the passenger front fender. I know there's a bracket behind here for that holds the fender on. Fender grill piece, and then your bumper. And it's kind of jank already, so I don't wanna make it any worse. So we're gonna go ahead and I put a mark right there, and right here. And I think we're gonna follow this line right there, or maybe like somewhere in here. It's hard to cut up a car that's perfectly fine and is gonna have trash shipment until your new parts get here. But we gotta do it because I have time today. So let's cut it up. It's hard to make the first cut, but you gotta remember, what's your final goal? You want that wide body, you want that angle kit to fit and not look like trash. And even if it does fit, it's not going to turn without cutting the fenders. I'm assuming I'm going to have to end up trimming this off in the end once I get my angle kit. But I'm not going to do that till I get the angle kit and make sure. Because I don't want to cut anything I don't need to cut. Because I want to make the car look as clean as possible, but be as functional as possible. So the rear fitment might not be the best just because BMWs have trailing arm setups. So the wheels go up and down straight instead of like a BRZ where they camber in as they go up. So let's go ahead. We gotta make that cut. Just gotta do it. Just gotta send it. Remember before you start cutting, guys, that check behind the fender. Make sure there's nothing important where you're gonna be cutting, because you don't want to cut something that might need to be there, like a wire, because there are wires behind fenders sometimes. Be aware. It hurts so much. So much. Now that you got the front cut, take your corner light out. It's pretty easy. And then you take your panel and you make it line up with everything as much as possible. You're gonna have to sacrifice a line or two probably. Most fiberglass kits don't fit perfectly. This one is pretty good, honestly, but it's not perfect, so we're probably gonna have to sacrifice like 1 or 2 key areas, but that's fine. I just want to make sure the door opens right, the fender will, or the tire will clear everything when it turns, and it looks good. Got your fender in the right spot. You're gonna need a girlfriend. Because without a girlfriend you can't get your car to stay in the right spot, or your fender. So you're gonna need that. And you need a drill that's the right size for your Cleco clips, or if you're just gonna go straight to rivets. And go ahead, mark where your holes are, where you want them to be. Make sure you make them even if you're a perfectionist like me. I'm using a caliper and I'm doing 0.35 inches from the side of the fender in, and then I'm gonna space them evenly. I'm gonna put 5 on top, I think, and then 2 down here, and then 1 up there in the front on the bottom. So let's go ahead, get these holes drilled. Just drop the camera. Now I need a new GoPro case. So rip. Let's go ahead and get the rest of this installed without a case on the GoPro because the lens doesn't have a protection. Okay guys, that was 100% effort. Like that was like 99% effort. You can do 70% of the job in 30% of the time. I normally will work that way if it's something that's not important, but for me, like, looks is very important. I didn't get all the waves out of the top right here on this fender, but that's not a huge deal to me. The fitment here is almost exactly perfect. This is pretty close. It's a pretty good line. It's not as good as my line that I did on my truck. Well, actually, that's moved. Would you look at that? That has moved. It used not to touch there, so I'm gonna have to readjust that. Anyways, this line's really good. Door doesn't hit, door opens perfectly. This is all good. But the fender's on there. It's gonna rattle because the clecos are like that. Some of them, see how this one goes in that far? That one only goes in that far. There's space between the panels. So once I get the washers in there, it should be able to tighten in and pull itself together. This one's really close to not sticking. The rest of them are pretty good. So yeah, it looks pretty good. Obviously my fitment's gonna be crap up until I get my wide body kit in, but I'm stoked. There's also no lip. The company that I bought these from is called Fitment Lab. They don't have a lip on the fenders here. So that means that you don't hit your tire when you're turning. But now we're gonna go on to the next side. That was pretty much how to do it. I walked you guys through it. I'm gonna go ahead and time up the next one because you guys already understand. Few things that are like quick tips. When you're making your initial cut, make the line with the ink grinder that's like barely cut in. That way you get a nice arch. Another thing, when you're measuring this out, measure it so they're equal distance. Measure how far it is from here to your front pin location, and then divide it by however many pins you want. So I wanted 3 pins, so I divided that distance to there by 4 to get the spacing, because there's 4 spaces here. So pretty simple. And now these are all equally spaced. So I'm stoked. I think it came out amazing. It looks really cool. And yeah, let's get on to the next panel.
SK with the beat.
Nah, it's on the beat, boy.
Okay guys, so here's what the front end looks like. I'm just gonna do the front today and then call it. I'm not gonna do the back. But there you see, like, that side's done and that side's done. They're just gonna be Cleco clips for now until I get my hardware. I think I'm gonna go like with Downstar hardware. I'm not sure. If there's a hardware company out there that wants to sponsor me, hit me up. I know you guys probably won't, but yeah, front end looks great. Fenders are good, they're nice and sturdy on there. We gotta do the rear tomorrow or Monday maybe, and we gotta cut up here. And there's like 2 pieces of metal in there, and you gotta like cut them, separate them, cut a little bit more. I don't know yet, but you gotta like weld them together, I'm pretty sure. So we're gonna figure that out tomorrow. Front end looks great. This side actually lined up better than the passenger side. This line's really good. This line's perfectly like with the top line. This right here stuck a little far over the front, which I didn't like, but it's decently fine. And then I want to come back in here and cut a little more of that lip out on both sides. And then this side didn't have that. The lip was behind, and this lined up a little bit farther off. So it's not perfectly symmetrical, which is gonna destroy me, but I remember it's a drift car, and it really is not that bad. It looks pretty good. I'll catch you guys tomorrow in the same video. So maybe I might end this video here, but if I don't, tomorrow we're gonna be back. We're installing the rear fenders. One's right up there, the other one's at the boat, and It's gonna be cool. And we're gonna have a really wide car with terrible fitment until my rear spacers get here and until my control arms get here in the front. Peace out. If I do end it here. Peace out. Thank you so much for watching, guys.
Escape.
And stay tuned for the next video because we'll be installing the rear fenders.